We are live. L's in the chat for the intro. L's in the chat. Boom. All right, guys. Tonight, I want to talk about a subject that I get asked a lot. You know, a lot of guys, they're in this situation where they have known a girl for many months or maybe years. And they're in a situation where, yeah, L's in the chat for the intro. And they're in a situation where they have not made a move. Now, when they first met this girl, the iron was hot. There seemed to be attraction there. There was a connection there, but you never made a move. And now the connection seems to have faded away, but you still want to make a move. And believe it or not, this is a question that probably thousands of people have asked me. So I figured we'd do a live stream about it and allow you guys to call in and discuss your situation. And we can just go over it like that. But first, let's see who we have in the chat. We've got Marlon White in the house. We've got Mario Valdez in the house. We've got Adriana Flowers. We've got Marcator 1993. And we've got several others that have yet to post. And guys, yes, we can put L's in the chat for the intro. I made it about 15 minutes before I started the show, and it was on the fly. So, you know, we did what we could do. We tried to string something together. Pretty fucking corny, I know. But guys, don't worry. We are live for 2.5 hours of coochie pounding entertainment. Let's see who else we have in the chat. We've got Vivian Venetia. We've got Eric. Hey, I'm offended by these L's. W's in the chat for the intro. W's. All right. So anyways, Vagabond is in the house. Good to have you here, sir. So anyways, how late is too late? You know, everybody knows that you have the best chance at making your move. The sooner the better, I should say. Your best chance is right there when the iron is hot, you know, right there when you're having that moment. But often you don't make the move. Maybe you were too much of a pussy. Maybe you just weren't sure if you wanted to make the move. You wanted to feel her out first, but you waited a little too long, and now the opportunity seems to have passed. Well, guys, if that's your situation, what I want you to realize is women are driven by their emotions. Therefore, whatever they're feeling at that given moment is going to dictate the decisions that they make for the most part. So, sure, she might have been in her emotions the first day you met her and you didn't strike. You didn't make your move. But, you know, some time passed and she's had time to cool off. She's no longer in her emotions. Now, months later, you want to make your move, right? Well, here's the thing. If you get her emotions back to the way they were from the beginning, making your move will be a good idea. It will be an effective move. So you always got to think that the way she's feeling right now maybe won't be the way she's feeling 20 minutes from now. And you can dictate those terms because you are the fucking man and you take the lead. When you get good, you will realize how easy it is for a man to take the lead. You can literally get a woman to say whatever you want her to say, it seems like. You know, all the time, I will be speaking to a woman and she'll say something like, she doesn't want to have kids. She doesn't want to start a family, blah, blah, blah. And then 10 minutes later, I'll start to ask questions like, or I'll start to say things like, you know, I used to think the same, but now I kind of want a family. And, you know, all of a sudden now she's saying, oh, yeah. You know what? To be honest, I have baby fever and I've been thinking about having one for the longest time. You know what I mean? So whatever you lead them into, a lot of times you can get them to shift into becoming. So it's never really too late for a man. That's what you got to understand. And I do want you guys to call in with your own unique situations, and we'll see if we can work it out for you, because that's what we do here. We turn average guys into panty droppers, because that's the goal. Now we've got German Sanchez in the house and Black Savant in the house. Matthew Mahaffey in the house. All right. I am going to start out by posting the link. You don't have to call in right now. We can just we can answer some questions in the chat, and I can give some commentary to begin the show. But I do want this to be here for you guys if you decide that you want to call in. Let me pull this up on my phone so I can pin it. I don't want to do it on my computer because it'll make funny noises. All right. Where are we at? There we go. And guys, always remember, if you have a question that you want to be asked in the chat, start out with a Q or a super chat and it will be read. All right, let's get this going on the bottom of the screen. Boom, there we go. As we wait for some people to arrive in the chat. Now, guys, I live in Tulsa, Oklahoma, pretty close to downtown, and there is a state fair going on. So the Wi-Fi might get choppy. Well, I'm actually on Ethernet, so the Ethernet might get choppy as well, but we'll see what happens. So far, it looks like it's better than it usually is. So that is good to know. All right. Do we have any questions in the chat? All right, guys, if you keep posting out. You're going to have to keep watching LFA do his dance. Alpacno has a question. He says, let's say you've seen this girl at the gym for a few months, like 2 to 3 months, but you still didn't talk to her. Can you make the move or should have done this in the first week? Well, what is your situation here? So you've seen this girl at the gym. Have you talked to her? Have you introduced yourself to her? Where are you at in this stage? Tell us exactly what has happened here and what's gotten you into this situation. My connection is getting wonky all of a sudden. So I might freeze up on the screen, but hopefully at least my voice stays on the screen and we can work with it. So yeah, Alpacno, let me know exactly where your situation has progressed to, because there's levels to this shit, right? So if it's a girl that you met or that you've seen at the gym for 2 to 3 months and you're staring at her awkward, she's kind of put you in that creeper category, then you're in trouble and you're going to have to dig yourself out. You've got yourself in a predicament. But if this is a girl that you've talked to, she's expressed interest in you, whether it be the way she looks at you or she smiles at you, you know, things like that. It's not always interest, but these are good signs, you could say. So if you're in a situation like that, then you don't have much of a hole to dig yourself out of. All you got to do is make your move. So let us know where you're at in this situation. Andrew Lopez in the house, stopping by real quick while he drinks his pre-workout. Well, that's great, sir. If you have us on your headphones while you're working out, we're glad to have you. All right. Mitchell Bradley in the house. Q, best classic car in your opinion? Classic car, how far back are we going? Like the I don't know much before like the 70s. I don't know. I would like to have one of those old original Ford F-150s with some big ass rims and big ass tires on it. that'd be a massive flex for the country boys. LFA the G, do you have any resources on becoming better in bed? Why, yes, I do, sir. There's something that a lot of guys don't seem to quite understand in the bedroom, but foreplay can go a long way. All right. Guys watch porn and they got it totally twisted. In porn, the dude just pulls his huge dick out and just fucking rams it in her and just pounds the shit out of her. In real life, women like, they like to take it a little bit slower than that. They want sex to be like an enjoyable thing. So you can do things to really get a woman excited and aroused, like before you start having sex with her. You could play a little game in your own mind. You don't tell her you're playing this game, but you are going to touch every part of her body except for her pussy, right? And you may get close to her pussy, but you don't touch it. You kind of stay away from every time she thinks you're going to touch it, you stay away from it. And this is going to build up anticipation. It's going to get her really excited and get her ready to go, because if she's extremely excited, extremely wet, extremely horny before you put it in, the sex is already going to be really good when you do that. Now, in terms of actually having sex with her, I mean, it's pretty basic, right? All the positions. You've watched enough pornos to know how to do it all. But foreplay can go a long way. All right. Hold on. Do women live life on easy mode? To some degree, they do, but we live life on God mode. So imagine you're building a character in a video game. The male character is like strength 100, intelligence 100, like everything on 100. He's cranked up. He's unbeatable. He's a juggernaut, right? And the female character in the video game is like fragile, one hit kills her. It's like, so she might play the game on easy mode, but you are a fucking juggernaut. You're a man. So that's just the way it goes. They've tried to level the playing field by making a system favor women a little more, which it does. There's equal rights, plus they get a lot of extra benefits that we don't get. But again, we're more capable, so it is what it is. All right. Just saw her about 2 times. Okay, we're going back to his question. He said he's known a girl in the gym for 2 to 3 months, hasn't spoke to her, and he's updating us on his situation. He says, just saw her about 2 times per week since August, but never talked to her. She's often with her friends, or I am with mine. So no talk whatsoever. All right, so first of all, you need to change your avatar, man. Put your picture on there. And second of all, okay, because I'm telling you, everything about you means something and says something about you. And when your avatar is a cartoon turtle, you're probably not in the right mindset to be getting a lot of pussy. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not like trying to be a dick here, but let's just keep it real. Let's keep it totally real. If she's stalking you on social media and she looks at your avatar and it's a cartoon turtle, she's not stalking you anymore, bro. She's moving on. Anyways, so if you're with your friends and she's with her friends, you need to break off from your friends, go over and talk to her. It's very easy to talk to a woman when she's with her friends, and I'm going to explain why. Now, a lot of guys think this makes it more difficult. It makes it like intimidating or some shit like that. But in all reality, women like to get approached when they're with their friends because it's like a compliment. Like, you could approach any of her friends, but you're approaching her. So she's like the queen bitch of the tribe for that moment because she's the one that's getting the attention, right? So you're at an advantage when she's with her friends. So all you really got to do is go over and talk to her, and just don't be weird. Say what's ever natural to you. I don't want to like give you some pickup line, and you don't want to say something sexual because you're in public and she doesn't know you. But you just want to say something normal introduce yourself and let her know who you are. All right, we've got a caller that we're going to bring on. King E, what's up, brother?
Yep.
How you doing, sir?
Yep. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, you're live, sir.
Slagging. I don't know what's going on.
Can you hear me?
Slagging.
Okay. We'll bring you back on in a minute. All right. We will try that one again. I don't think you could hear what I was saying. I've received a lot of feedback from people. They're saying to move quickly with the calls, do it a little more professionally. But I do want to talk to people. We just have to get it working. All right. Q, how much does God play a role in today's society? Well, God plays the biggest role of all, but unfortunately, I think the devil rules the world. King E, what's up, brother?
Yo. Hello.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Test. King E, can you hear me? Test. All right. He might not know he's live, so I'm not going to keep his thing up there. How much does God play a role? Oh, you already read that. Q. What do you think about my avatar? I can't even tell what it is. I can pull it up on the big screen. Yak. Well, I don't know about that one. All right. Q, would the world be a better place if women had their body count tatted on their forehead? I know where you got that one. Yeah, Alpac, no. So I think it depends on your situation. And I think what you should do is break off from your friends when she's with all of her friends and have the courage to go over and talk to her. If you do that, you're going to make a very loud splash. What do you think about women making red pill manosphere content? Well, I think that it's disingenuous for the most part, 99% of the time. So it's a massive grip. Anytime I see a female dating coach, especially, what they typically do is they show up to a video repeating the same exact thing that everybody else is saying, because everybody just spouts out the same exact information for the most part. And they do it looking sexy when they're doing it. So a lot of guys show up just to simp for them, basically. Feeding them super chats and signing up for their services. But, a fish can't teach you how to fish. So keep that in mind. All right. LFA. After retaining, how do you hold out during sex strategies? Well, you gotta have some stamina, bro. Red pill plus titties equals big bank. Yes. Patriot Frog, what's up, brothers? Woman told me she would call me right back because she was at work. Well, I'm not sure what you're referring to here, bud. How long ago was this? And guys, anytime you see my internet get choppy, please type L internet in the chat. L internet. Two hours ago. What time did she get off work? See, here's the problem, guys. If a woman tells you she's going to call you later, she's got something to do now, and it's only been 2 hours, you shouldn't be sweating it. There's no reason to sweat that. All right. If she doesn't call you back, she doesn't call you back. You talk to somebody else. Don't sit around and sweat it. King E, what's up, brother?
It works now. I just had to change the phone. I just wanted to how's it going, man?
Going great. How are you?
I'm good, man. So good. I was watching the other live stream yesterday, yesterday, and it was about 3 ways to attract a woman. So I just want to know something, because in reality, not everybody is the bad boy,
Right.
And I just want to know, so because I've seen some. I do live in the hood, so I've seen some dudes that are in gangs. They're typically bad boys, but they don't even get pussy. So I just want to know, is it because the lifestyle they live is what attracts a woman, or is it more of just their aura? How do I explain it? So a man's aura, for example, let's say if a man's aura, let's say he's in a gang, but his aura is not him. He just doesn't attract women sexually.
Yeah.
You know
so some guys, okay, I think there's a difference between a bad boy and a bad guy. So what I mean is, a bad boy is that guy that basically nobody's fucking with him. No other dude is going to fuck with him. They know he's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So women see him as somebody that is of high value, especially in the hood, because when she's by his side, nobody fucks with her because they don't want to have to fuck with him. You know what I mean? So that's one aspect of it. Another aspect of it is the bad boy tends to be a player because he's in that position. So a lot of women want him, and he gets out there. He kind of has that, pre-selection going on. So it's kind of a snowball effect with the bad boy versus the good boy. So let's say you have a good college guy that lives in the hood, right? He has a bright future ahead of him, but people can punk him, people can basically walk.
So I understand. So basically what you're trying to say is to not be a punk, which I agree. I feel like even if you are a good guy, even if you're not in a gang, I feel like you shouldn't be a punk anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
you shouldn't fear no other man. And I take that very serious. If anything, for example, me, I'm not in the gang, but I just make sure that I'm not, I haven't been in a physical altercation in a very long time. I have been before past, but I haven't been in a long time. And I just, what are things that a man could do, to make sure that he stays, how do I say it, at least physically intimidating, or at least somebody that's that's not fuckable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the difference between I would say a good guy and a bad boy is the bad boy he has a behavioral trait that states that he is willing to do risky things that most guys aren't willing to do. So this might be selling drugs. It might be shooting somebody. It might be robbing somebody. It might be gangbanging. It might be cold approaching a girl that other guys are afraid to cold approach. But he's a guy that just has the balls to do these things. And it tends to not just be in one area, right? The same guy that's willing to rob a bank is more than willing to approach the hottest woman in the club, right? Yeah, because he has the balls to do these things. Whereas the good guy tends to play a slow game. He overthinks everything. He's calculated. He's smart. He's thinking, once I finish school, I'm going to get a good job. I'm not going to have to rob a bank. I'm not going to have to sell drugs. I'm going to make a lot more money than any of those guys do. And it's going to work out for me, which is true. But he also carries those same behaviors when it comes to women. He's taking it slow, trying to figure out if this woman's worth it, or, he's playing these slow games. And just because of that simple fact, the bad boy is going to get the girls. They're going
Yeah.
to be turned on by
No,
him.
I respect that opinion. And also, is it possible for like a good guy to, or is it possible for a girl to be sexually attracted to a good guy though?
Yes. I mean, some women are looking for that,
Yeah.
but I think in terms of just like one night stand sex appeal, they're 90% of the time they're going for the bad boy, unless you're an extremely good looking good boy.
They go for the bad boy because I feel like it's also like it's like they don't care how they're seen by a bad boy because you know they're bad. So it's like it's more of a respect thing too. It's both. Like I feel like it's not necessarily a bad boy. I feel like a girl, if she's sexually attracted to you, she's obviously gonna have sex with you no matter what type of guy you are. You could even be a, I don't know, some guy that works at McDonald's. You feel me? Not a gangbanger or nothing. But if
Yeah.
she's sexually attracted to you, I feel like she's gonna have sex with you. But if you are, I think what it comes down to is if she will have sex with the bad boy because maybe she just doesn't have respect or she doesn't care what he thinks of her versus the good guy. You know what I'm saying? Like she might care what the good guy thinks of her. You know what I'm saying? Like the first night.
Yeah. The thing about it is it's a competitive sexual market. So
Yeah.
if she's a good looking girl, she's got all kinds of guys trying to get with her. And because of that simple fact, she's probably been with a few bad boys, that really put it down, really gave it to her good. And they might have dumped her for some other girl because that's the way bad boys do it. It's on to the next every time. And she's always going to have that thought in her head. So if you're playing the slow game, you're a good guy, whether you're working at McDonald's, going to college, whatever it is, the girl that you're pursuing has most likely, she's been with a couple of bad boys. So
that is a fact.
Anytime you have a situation like that where she's been with a guy she was very attracted to, he smashed a couple of times and then he just dumped her and moved on to another chick, he's going to leave a bit of an imprint on her. Like,
Yeah.
because, especially after the heartbreak, because she probably spent several months, wanting to get him back, trying to reach out, trying to call him, trying to get back with him. And he just kept, doing his thing. So it kind of left this impact on her later in life. So when you're a good guy and you're playing the slow game with her, it might be working out. She might be attracted to you, but she still had that excitement that she's had from the bad boy. You know what I mean? So that's always in the back of her mind. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's just a fact.
No, yeah, facts. And another thing too. So like, what would you say? How about if a guy is like retaining and working out? Is it possible? Let's say if a guy is a virgin, but he retains and work out. He doesn't watch porn. He's done no fap or whatever and retains and works out. You think it's possible for him to like become select? I'm just
Yes.
trying to see.
Yes,
Like,
I do think so, because when a guy is retaining and working out, he is at his most optimal form. His body's on point, his mind is on point, and the biggest psychological impact when you're retaining is you're not trying to have sex with women, and this sort of displays high value because most guys are desperately trying to hook up with them, and you're just doing your own thing. You know what I mean? You're acting like you don't even really want them that much. So this can cause, a little bit of a mysterious vibe with women and make them want to get closer to you. There's also, I don't want to get too much into the retaining, like the stuff that sounds
it's a never ending topic. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like
it
I get
is.
what you're saying.
It is.
Yeah.
There's definitely an aura, and just about everybody that tries it discusses this aura. When you're retaining, let's say you're 30 days in, you just start to, like, strangers want to touch you. Everybody wants to get close to you. People are trying to get to know you, asking you questions. It's this weird thing where it's like everybody is just, drawn to your aura. So, retention does cause some of that. And I don't know how to explain it. I don't think anybody does, but, thousands and thousands of people that are trying it are saying the same thing. So
Yeah.
that's possible.
Nah, I mean, I feel like retention just brings out more of a masculine aura to you. I feel like I don't know if you agree, but I mean, like, would you agree that if you retain, you obviously become more masculine, and in turn,
Yes.
like females like masculinity, even
Yes.
sexually. Like sexually, if females, and that's another reason why females like bad boys, because a lot of bad boys are masculine. This is the truth. A lot of good boys ain't even masculine. Like a
Yeah.
lot of them are not. They probably don't work out. They probably don't play sports. They never, fought. They're just
Yeah.
like masculinity is an energy that you carry. It's like courage, and so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I
Well,
was gonna say, mhm. Go ahead, go ahead.
retention boosts your testosterone. So when you
That's
have
another
higher
thing too. Yeah,
testosterone, you're more likely to take risks. You're more likely to, to become that bad boy. High testosterone just kind of turns you into that.
yeah. Nah, that's a fact. That's definitely a fact, man. Nah, because I just wanted to know like what exactly you meant. But I mean, the more you explain it, it does make sense. I feel like so basically the main thing is become more masculine.
Yeah, you could
Pretty
say
much.
that. So what are the
Pretty much.
traits of it? I would say become more dominant, and dominant
Okay.
is a masculine trait. So um, women, it's like the term alpha males. Like what's that mean? It means that, and women don't know what an alpha male is. All they know is they're attracted to the traits that an alpha male has. And women aren't attracted to money, but they're attracted to the traits that most, go-getters have. So what are these traits? It's just this fast moving, willing to take risks, um, you know, having goals, accomplishing them, really, not letting anything hold you back, being a little bit stoic, not being caught up in your emotions, just being aggressive, dominant, and doing whatever it takes to achieve what you want to achieve.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. That definitely makes 100% sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the best examples of my lifetime, I bring this guy up a lot, but I think 50 Cent is the best example of a guy that possesses that dominant trait. Like I
Yeah.
just think he's a unique situation, a unique human being, because I think he came up in it like he had no chance of making it. Like everybody hated him, and then like he just kept fighting, and like nothing could stop him. And eventually, he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He just kept pushing forward, and it just doesn't matter. Anytime somebody disses him, insults him, shoots him, whatever it is, he just comes back stronger, and it never gets to him.
Right, right.
He never shows a shred of weakness.
Yeah. What's your opinion of like taking like let's say you're 24 years old and you want to, get just more physically in shape and just even more confidence in yourself like physically. What do you think about a man taking 24-year-old man taking boxing class? Like
Boxing is great. Nowadays, I mean, boxing is kind of old school. I think, getting into like some jujitsu and things like that might be better nowadays. But boxing it's more of like a show out sport. And I guess if you're in there, if you're in the boxing gym and, you're getting good with your hands, then that's definitely a confidence booster, especially if you're out there in the streets and somebody fucks with you and they don't know
100%.
that, you're basically a professional at what you do. So
No, it happens a lot. It happens a lot. People, if they see that you're like, if they see they could take you, they'll fuck with you. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah, yeah,
It happens a lot. And I'm just trying to be ready, for
yeah,
any situation.
yeah. When they find out you're nice with their hands, they're not gonna fuck with you.
Of course. I mean, at that point, you got to be careful because, like, if you knock somebody out, that guy could take it, very personal and probably come back with a gun, and
Yes.
that's
You know,
another thing too. You got to be careful. Like,
yeah. I mean, you got to pick your battles, and
yeah,
that's the unfortunate thing. Like, I don't want to, I don't want to give guys advice to like be a bad boy. That
no, no, I know.
everybody's
What you're trying to, I feel like I understand what you're trying to say because you're trying to say like it's not about it's not about committing crimes, but about just having more of a masculine aura about you. I think that's the main thing.
yeah,
Like, it's more of like you just can't be, how do I say it? Like if you're a guy, for example, like if you're a guy that's still uh worried, like if you're still worried, if you're walking around with a girl and you're worried that you're gonna basically get picked on around your area, like you shouldn't even be with a girl. Wait, hold on, somebody called me. My bad. Well, yeah, thank you, LFA. I'll check this live stream out. My bad, somebody called me.
okay.
All right, peace, brother. You already
All
know.
right, peace. Good call. I was about to make another point, but he's gone now. All right. I saw some questions in the chat that I didn't have a chance to get to. We'll go back to those. Let's see what we've got here. CSS Element is in the house. Good to have you here, sir. All right. Thought I saw some questions here. I missed them. Whatever. Ask them again. After years in the gym, do you see calisthenics as cardio? Fuck no. Calisthenics are fucking king of exercising. I mean, I think the greatest exercise, the greatest workout anybody can do for aesthetics is pull-ups, and they're calisthenics. Wide grip pull-ups. That shit will have your biceps looking jacked. It'll have your traps and your lats and your what's like pretty much your whole back looking jacked. All right. Q, are there limited scripts for masculinity and modern culture? If all men killed animals for food and built houses with their bare hands, it would be a different ball game. Yes. Vagabond keeps putting L internet. Is it freezing up for everybody? Damn. It's showing on my end that the internet's coming in perfect. L, greetings from Holland. What's up, Holland? L internet, L internet, W internet. Yeah, I think it might just be bad out there in Jordan, Vagabond. So guys, you know what happens if there's no questions to ask, you're going to have to watch LFA Dan. Every time. I'm going to get like a 5-minute loop of that. All right, there. My internet just looked like it froze up for a second. 60 viewers in the chat. What's up, brothers? Good to have you guys here. Q, do you need some new beats? No, I've got plenty of beats. I've got plenty of them. I just thought that was like a good corny intro beat. Yeah, we've got a lot of beats here. I buy a lot of beats. Like I actually have a pretty big library of beats. Very, very seldom do I use them because I don't really call for them. But I buy, like, I'll hear a beat I really like. And I'm not one of those guys that like fucking pirates the beat or fucking screen records it on YouTube. I reach out to the guy that fucking made it and I pay him because I think it's worth it. Even if I don't use the beat, that beat might have inspired me to, do something. And then I couldn't incorporate that beat in what I did, but it still inspired me. So he still deserves the money. Anyways, Vincent Valentine, do you plan on getting married and having kids one day, staying faithful to one woman long term? I would like this for myself, but it seems too damn risky. Yes. And you know what? Shout out to the Rational Male, Rollo Tomasi. If you've read the Rational Male and looked into the epiphany phase, I don't know how old you are, Vincent, but I'm in my mid 30s and I experienced single life for the first time when I was 29. And in that time period, I would travel a lot. I would go to Miami, Vegas, Dallas, Houston, went to New York once, went to LA once. So I visited most of the big cities in the United States, the biggest cities, and I would spend like, a week or so in each city. And, I visited some of them multiple times. So, I have a few contacts in those areas, female contacts for the most part. And a lot of these girls from the big cities, back then I was like 29 or 30, 31, and they were mostly in their early to mid 20s. And now those girls are in their late 20s or early 30s. And big city girls don't settle down very often. Country girls settle down early, like 18 or 19 years old. They'll get pregnant and they'll get married. Big city girls don't settle down usually until they're about 30. So these girls now are, they're at the epiphany phase, is what Rollo Tomasi calls it. And it's very accurate how Rollo describes that. So they go through that party phase where they just want to fuck. And now they want to settle down. So, for example, I know a few girls in Florida, multiple, and they were looking for a place to stay over the weekend. I hung out with one of them, but I, didn't take it too far. But she's actually wanting to move to Tulsa. And it's like, why would you want to move from Miami to Tulsa? There's only one reason, because you want to settle down and start a family. And Tulsa is a place to do it. Miami is not. So you are up here on the prowl looking for a dude to get married and settle down with. So do I think it's risky to get married and settle down? I do not. I think it's risky if you're a man that is not very good with women. Okay. If you're a man that knows how to lead a woman, provide for a woman, 321, 321, my internet might be cutting out. If you're a man that knows how to lead a woman and provide for a woman, then you'll do just fine. And by provide, I don't mean just give her money and buy her shit. I mean the whole experience of masculine containment in the relationship. All right. Thoughts on channels? Thoughts on some channels in the space interviewing stars on body counts and morals? Well, I know Fresh and Fit and Playing with Fire had both interviewed a few porn stars. I don't think porn stars are good people to take advice from. That's more of like a Jerry Springer style of entertainment where you're just bringing trashy people on just to talk to them. But I think for the most part, I would never take advice from a porn star, not life advice, not bedroom advice. Whatever. Why would you? You think just because they fuck on camera that they know more than you? They probably know less. LFA, you have developed me turn into a man over the past year. Will you do a video on how to approach women in public? Sure, I'll do that at some point. Jay Wad, do you think men should date or marry older women, maybe 2 to 7 years older? Thoughts? For the most part, no. If it's just something sexual and dating and friendly, go for it. But, for the most part, depending on your age, if you're a 25-year-old guy dating a 30-year-old girl, I don't think you'll like the results in the end. Now, everybody's different. You can go ahead and do it, but most relationships tend to work out when the man is about 5 to 10 years older than the woman. So if you are, let's say you're 30 and you meet a 23-year-old girl, perfect. But if you're a 23-year-old man with a 30-year-old woman, it's usually not so perfect. Doesn't usually work out. Men mature at a later age than women do. And the women's desire for being with a guy that has his shit together goes up throughout life. So a 21-year-old chick might want to hook up with a dude that's a bad boy. He's a pretty boy, whatever, just for something exciting and sexual. But when she's 30, she's going to want a man that has his shit together, right? So that changes for her. So you as a guy, you're not going to hit your stride and have your shit together till later in life. So think about that. But everybody's situation is different. All right. Holden, what's up, brother?
What's up, brother? Check out
How
my
you doing, sir?
beans. Check it out. Oh, probably bad lighting.
That's Gaines, bro.
Thank you. Anyway, that last caller was a great call. He seems cool.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, your internet is not like you're getting in fine. You have been the whole stream, so I don't know what those other guys talking about.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah. So anyway, I have a bit of a.
Where'd you go?
Oh, you got me?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was saying I have a situation need some guidance on. It's a bit embarrassing, but I actually DM'd a real dating coach, like an official one, but his price was too high for. So I decided I'll go on the free show, the face show, get some free advice if that's all right.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so girl, I've been seeing.
Hey, hold on. Who was the dating coach you went to?
He's called Fort Worth Playboy.
Fort Worth Playboy.
Yeah, he's real active on Twitter. He's medium popular. He does a little YouTube channel. I think his advice is pretty solid, to be honest, but just too pricey for my poor ass Louisiana boy.
Fort Worth Playboy.
Yeah.
You hear that?
What's that?
Okay, never mind. I was just watching this video. Okay.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Well, anyways, what's your advice or what's your question?
Yeah, so girl I've been seeing for I don't know, however long, a little while. And the first girl I've been with in years, actually. Smashing on the regular. Everything's going great. She's totally drama free. So and this is why I fucked up. And then what's weird is the synchronicity kicked in with your video where you dropped never spend money on a girl, because I did spend a little money on her. I wouldn't spend it like for her, but if I was like hungry.
Wait, hold on. I didn't say never spend money on a girl. I said never give a woman money.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well yeah. Similar, but yeah, it's different, I guess. Well, I bought a pedicure for her, so I don't know what that counts as. But I did it like for me, so she could look good for me, you know?
Yeah. Well, the thing about doing something like that for a woman, I see that as something that's, I would just never do it unless she was my girlfriend. Like,
Right.
we've been together for a year or two and it's like, we're about to go out for her birthday or some shit like that. I'll take her out to get her hair and nails done and shit like that during the day or whatever. But I don't think you should do something like that, because here's the thing, especially with a woman's appearance. I want you to understand this. A woman's appearance is very important to, or she knows that it's very important. Her image is very important. So as a man, how does a man show his love, or how does he show that he's invested in a woman? Naturally, he protects and provides for her. So like, you just find yourself kind of white knighting for the chick and taking the bill when you go out to eat, things like that. That's just that falls in place for a man to do those things. Now, a woman's image is how she shows her love for a man in a lot of ways. Now, what do I mean by this? So let's say you've met a girl and you just recently started talking to her, and she's changing her hairstyle. She's starting to dress sexier. She's like got a complete makeover. And she's doing this because she knows her image matters. When she steps her image up, it's going to help you be more attracted to her. So it'll help your relationship grow. And also on a date, what I want you to understand, the process for a man to get ready for a date is like, okay, let's say I have a date and I'm going out at 9 p.m. tonight on a date. I can literally spend my whole day working, making money, going to the gym, doing whatever I want to do. And then at 8 o'clock, I go home, take a 5-minute shower, get dressed, take a smudge, a hair product, put it in my hair, get in the car, and I'm ready to go. 15 minutes, right? And I look like $1 million. For a woman to get ready for a date, it's all about her appearance. So she has a friend that she goes and picks up a dress with. She has a friend that comes over and spends 2 hours doing her hair. She has another friend that comes over and spends an hour and a half doing her makeup. She spent an hour in the tub shaving everything up, picking out the right pair of panties and everything. Like the whole process of a woman's image before she goes out on a date, it's literally like a fucking 7-hour process. So you don't want to help her provide her image. That's what she's supposed to do on her own. So something like the hair and the nails or something like that on a first date, never. That's something that she should step her game up for you for. You know what I mean? So that's not something that you should be doing. But when you take her out, you should pick up the bill. You should buy all the drinks. A woman should never have to spend $1 on the date when she's with you.
Yeah.
But she should have to put all the effort into making sure she's on point for the date.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that the girl's kind of in a bad place in her life. She can't afford that. She doesn't even have a car right now. It's a whole story that I'm not going to get into, but I wanted a certain, I mean, not to be like whatever, but like I wanted a certain color on her toes. I like that shit. I'm into that shit. All right. And so I paid for this and it was great for a couple of weeks, but then suddenly she texted me and she was like, oh, actually she got a new job. So she got a little money. And then she's like, I'm going to change my toe color. So I was like, I mean, I'm not going to argue with her. Don't do it. I paid for it. It's like, whatever, go ahead. So then she did it. I was like, all right, send me a pic. I want to see what they look like. And so she sends me, this is the problem. This is what got me mad. She sends me a picture of her, like, kind of like her toes are like not even in the shot. Like she purposely sent me a bullshit picture where her foot, it's like blurred and shit. Like she clearly did not, it's a little disrespectful. She's being like, she's acting like nothing happened. And I asked her like, what the fuck is that? Well, I don't even know what that is. And she just says, what? Like she's playing dumb. So I know this is a petty situation and I got angry because it is petty.
Well,
and,
yeah.
Rambling. And so I left her on red. I ghosted her for a week because of that. Was I right to punish her? That's my question. Was I right to not reward her bullshit?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, kind of like the medium is the message type of deal here.
Right.
So when she was down and out and she needed you, you wanted her nails, we'll just say fucking pink. You wanted them to be pink. So you got them pink and she did that for you. And then she's no longer down and out. So she's no longer doing what she thinks will please you. She's no longer concerned with doing what she thinks will please you. And even so much that she's going to take like meaningless pictures that don't even matter. Like she's beating around the bush. So the medium is the message. So when she needed you, she was there. When she doesn't need you, she's not. So should you punish her? I don't necessarily even think there's punishment being done. I think she is a low quality candidate. You might be in your head. You might be trying to. You're creating a fantasy version of who you want her to be.
Right.
But in reality, she's just some bimbo that was down and out. She was looking for a guy to help pay for some shit when she needed it. She got it. Now she's not down and out anymore. So she's, the attraction is gone. And unfortunately, she's not going to change. That's probably who she is. Now she's playing the game with somebody else, and he's going to find out the hard way, just like you did, probably.
But I totally understand what you just said. However, I don't think she is that girl. I wasn't paying for things left and right. Like I said, all I bought for her was when I was hungry, which wasn't every time we saw each other. Maybe a third of the time she came over. When I got some food, I got her something too. I'm not going to not feed the bitch when she's at my place. But, I offered for this. She never once wanted anything from me. And like when I would have to leave for work in the morning and she was still at my place because I smashed last night, she would make my bed and everything. Like she was a good girl. I know it's hard to believe from what I've just told you. She's a good girl. She lost her father a few years ago. That's when the tattoos started. It's a whole downhill spiral. Yeah, I'm just all right. Go ahead.
Now that sucks, but that she's been through a rough time,
right?
And she might be a good girl, but what you should be concerned with here is her desire to be with you.
It's zero. She already told me she doesn't want a relationship, and that's cool. My whole question was should I have punished her? Yeah.
Yes, you should have, and you should just. I would kind of cut off connection and let her reach out to you, because she might
did.
do that.
She did.
But typically in a situation where a woman tells you she doesn't want a relationship, that's never, ever a good sign, because every woman wants a relationship. And if a woman tells you she doesn't want a relationship, what this means is she might be willing to keep you around and you can do things for her. She may, maybe it could be a lot of things. She may want to go out to dinner. She may want to go out to a movie. She may even want to have sex. She may want somebody to pay for her nails. She may want somebody to take her on a trip. She wants the perks of a boyfriend, but without actually having to commit to you. So she's still open to meeting other guys and has plausible deniability when she does.
That's fucking all ever.
I mean, that's the truth, because if she had that burning, genuine desire to be with you, she would desperately be trying to lock you in before somebody else does.
Yeah, you cut out for about 5 seconds, but you said the burning desire is not there.
Yeah. Well, I said if she had that burning desire for you, she would want to commit to you before someone else does. She would want to take you off the market. Hold on. Shape Your Future with the 5 Canadian bucks. He says, she came back, like you said, avoidant, but she won't get off the fence. I don't have the patience, so let her know the deal and I will move forward. Okay, so he's in a similar situation similar to yours. So it is possible, and I do want to throw this out there as something that is not such a black pill, right? This is a little bit of a gold pill here. A lot of people, especially somebody that's been through a lot of traumatic situations, develop avoidant personality disorders to a point where they have a hard time getting close to people. So she may not have a lot of really close. Yeah.
Dude,
so she may not have
100%.
Yes. So here's what happens when you guys get, so she desires and craves.
You're breaking up, man.
She wants a connection just like anybody else does. But the problem is when she starts to get that connection, the avoidant personality thing kicks in and she becomes, she feels smothered in some way, whether this repulses her, whether it gives her anxiety and makes her afraid, it drives her away from you. So the closer you get, the more uncomfortable she gets. So a lot of times in a situation like this, and this is 100% your best move, is to go full no contact. Okay, I know that sounds counterproductive because you're thinking, oh man, she's been through so much. She's having such a rough time. She's probably testing me. She just wants me to reach out to her and prove how good of a guy I am and how much I care about her. That's what you're probably thinking in your head. But in all actuality, that's going to be the counterproductive strategy. Which one of these two situations do you think would make her miss you the most? You calling her constantly and trying to get back with her, or you just moving on with your life and never reaching out to her?
The second, and I don't, like I said earlier, like I did ghost her. As soon as she played dumb with me and she said, what? Like over text message, I left her on red. Then she sent me, well, whatever. And then she contacted me about a week later about some other bullshit. And I also left that on red. But I'm just about to move on because I'm so fed up. I just wanted that answer because I was like driving myself crazy as to like, that's some bullshit, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if leaving her on red is the proper thing to do, because that's almost like I consider that to be unprofessional. You know, and as an adult, you should handle your relationships in a professional manner, like a mature manner. So if somebody reaches out to you, even if they did you wrong, or she was the one that ghosted you and you're kind of upset about it, when she messages you, you should message her back. And it could be something like you can literally say, look, you said you didn't want anything serious. It's pretty obvious we need some space here. I think we should kind of, avoid texting for a little while. Maybe text me back in a few weeks or something if you feel like talking to somebody. But you got to have some no contact in there, and you got to hold true to it. And you can't do things that are like immature, because when you're leaving her on red, it's almost on her end, she's going to think that you are playing a game with her. Like, you're playing some sort of alpha game on her, like throwing a tantrum, you could say.
Yeah, should have done that. I did actually, after she contacted me the second time, I like left that on red for a little while, and then I messaged back, and I told her, I told her what was on my mind. I was like, you irritated me when you did X, so this is why Y, and then she hasn't even opened that. So I know it's pretty much over, but like I said, it's all good, but it does suck when that was your only stream of pussy you were getting, but it's all right. She clearly is trashy, and she doesn't even appreciate. She's not a very good person,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Well,
What makes her not a very good person? Because when I said that,
well, she's a good girl, as in she's sweet. She won't steal money out my wallet while I'm sleeping or some shit. Like, she's not a dirt bag, but like I said, she's traumatized. She can't pair bond. She's, like, I've been so good to her. We vibe on every level, except like she's just not the very affectionate type of relationship girlfriend material, if that makes sense. It's hard to describe. Okay.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. Do you want to stick around? Like, do you think it's worth it to stick around and have her as like a project that you're working on constantly and trying to get her to come around and warm up to you, and it ends up just being counterproductive every time, because the more effort you put into it, the less she seems to care, and that's how it's going to work out.
Fuck. God damn it. Yeah. It's a quagmire, huh?
Yeah.
And I don't like the fact that she's, in all likelihood, fucking other dudes. Like, I say, I don't care what you do, go do your own thing, but I'm like, I don't like it,
Yeah. Well, yeah, the sad thing is, a lot of girls like that, even though she might be a good person, a lot of times when they're afraid of commitment like that, that's what they do. They do get fucked by other guys because, she would rather get quick fixes, date this guy for a couple of weeks, then that guy for a couple of weeks, and then back to that guy for a couple of weeks, and, flip flop around, because she has a hard time getting close to people. I think no contact is the best thing you can do. Don't stress it.
Oh yeah, believe me. I will keep that in mind as I move forward, brother.
Yeah, give her some competition too.
Yeah, there's a block party tonight. I'm about to go out as soon as I do some of this yard work, but yeah, I gotta go actually and do some of this. But thank you for the advice, man. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
All right.
JP, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, brother?
How you doing, sir?
Not bad. It's just that I wanted to like open. I mean, it's just a comment like about all these dating apps. The other day, it's kind of a story, but so the other day I met someone through one of these dating apps, and this person was with her friend, but the friend was super ugly, like really, really ugly girl. But I found that this ugly girl had like thousands of matches and really, really high quality uh, guys, because she showed me the her teen, well, this application.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, how do we end with this simp epidemic? Because this simp pandemic, because it's crazy how much even ugly girls, I mean, get a lot of attention. So yeah,
Well,
that's
so here's the thing. I don't take those dating apps seriously because most men on dating apps, just by sheer libido, go on the
yeah,
on Tinder and just fucking swipe rapidly on every chick. I mean, I will go through my Tinder and look at some of the people that I matched with, and I'll be like, "What the fuck was I thinking?" when they message me, and it just fucking weirdos on there that I would never actually go out with, but I'm just fucking swiping really fast. So that's part of it. Like, I think she might match with dudes that actually have no interest in her. Now, in terms of the simp pandemic, you can't control what's going on around you. I know a lot of people, they have this mindset of like, I don't like the way the world's working, so the world needs to change. World's not going to change.
oh, yeah, definitely,
The only number one thing that any guy can do is step his own game up. And,
definitely.
and even if you're doing good, no matter what the situation is, a man should always be stepping his game up. The guy that gets
True.
complacent is always the guy that gets left behind. It doesn't matter if you're fighting a war. It doesn't matter if you're a business executive. It doesn't matter wherever you're at in any stage, anywhere. The guy just has to continue stepping his game up. So when you have a simp pandemic, so what you mean by that is every guy is desperately trying to get laid. So he's trying to holler at every girl that he possibly can. And he's bending over backwards to try to do it. You have to keep your shit together, work out, make your money, make sure your life is on track. And when it comes to women, you have to have standards and you have to be picky.
True.
So most men are totally horrified by the idea of vetting a woman, because when they vet a woman, they have to objectively look at her for who she really is and break this fantasy version of who they want her to be, who their imagination has created. And that's terrifying for guys because it's devastating. It's heartbreaking to find out that this girl isn't who you want her to be. So as a man, you can't worry about what other men are doing. You worry about what you're doing, and you worry about what your standards are with women. And if women aren't meeting that standard, you let them go.
Yeah, I agree with that. But for example, don't you think that with this simp pandemic, male attention, it's like devaluated, like it lost like worth. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
So at one time, there was once a time before social media when men traded attention for sex. They gave a woman attention with hopes of getting sex in return. But now there's an echo. Okay.
oh,
But
sorry.
now there is such an abundance of attention because women can just post something on social media, get 100,000 likes, and whatever. So the validation is always there for women. The attention is always there. So what you have to do is make your attention more valuable than their attention. And there is no hack. Being a high value man, there's no hack to becoming that. You can learn all of these games of like not showing women attention and displaying high value, so on and so forth. But there's no hack to becoming a man that women respect, that men respect, that is a high value man. It's all about money. It's about power. It's about looks. It's about these things. And a lot of this stuff is in your power to change. Age, you can make money. You can be sitting at home on the internet making thousands of dollars every day. You just have to have the right pathway. And college is easier than ever to get into. It's easier than ever to get started in the career choice that you're interested in and that you're good at. So becoming a high value man is easier than ever. You just have to get out there and do it. And when you are a high value man, your attention has value. So a lot of these guys are loser simps and they're giving all their attention to women. That means nothing. But if you're a high value man that's, at the top of the dominance hierarchy and you have options, then your attention matters.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. So there's no yeah, you just need to work on the basics, as you said. Yeah.
Right.
Uh,
But you still want to know how to talk to women. You want to know how to flirt and build intimate connections with them. That plays a role. But being a guy that is a wanted man because you're high value, that's the prerequisite. You definitely want to have that as, if you could build the character, and every man can build the character. So you're playing a video game and you're building the character. You're going to make him the strongest, the richest, just the best character that you can possibly make him. In the modern world, you have the ability to actually do that. So you have to do that.
yeah, definitely. All right. Well, thanks for the advice, and have a good evening.
You too, sir. Thanks for calling in.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, my internet's getting wonky. It's definitely better with the Ethernet cable, but it's not perfect. Still cuts in and out every so often. LDU Lifestyle in the house. Brett Overman in the house. Shape Your Future. Thank you for that super chat, sir. And surprise! Appreciate that. Question: is the black pill a psyop? Can't take it serious at this point. Yes, I don't believe that it's a psyop, but it can't be taken seriously. So we'll talk about one of the biggest points that the black pill community has made since its birth, the Jeremy Meeks case. So they say, look at Jeremy Meeks. He was a scrub. He accomplished nothing. Internet's cutting out again. So they say, look at Jeremy Meeks. They say he was a scrub who accomplished absolutely nothing. He gets arrested. Internet's cutting out again. So they say, look at Jeremy Meeks. He's a scrub. He's accomplished nothing. He gets arrested. He gets a mugshot, and his mugshot looks like a male model. Very handsome guy. The sharp jawline, the orbital vector, the cheek dimples and all that. The eyes, the piercing eyes. Very good-looking guy. And his mugshot gets him to internet's cutting out again. Internet's cutting out again. This is pathetic. I need to sue my internet company. So anyways, his mugshot gets him out there. And next thing you know, he's dating Instagram models, right? But here's the thing. Jeremy Meeks was not dating Instagram models off of his looks. Okay. He started dating Instagram models when his mugshot got out there. He had street cred all of a sudden. He had a bad boy image to go along with the pretty boy image. So which was it? Which was it that got him to be so attractive to women? Was it the looks or was it the bad boy image? Because he's always had the looks and he didn't have the women until the bad boy image came along. So you choose. CSS Element with some constructive feedback. LFA Live, your stream has been fine since I joined an hour ago. If it cuts out, it's very rare and it doesn't interrupt the message. Okay, great. So I will keep talking instead of pausing every time I see a sign that it might be going out. But as far as the black pill goes, you know, the reason why I support some black pilled content creators is because they make valid points about dating coaches. A lot of dating coaches are just running scam operations and trying to take people's money. They're not actually able to help guys. And, you know, the guys that tend to, a lot of them have systems in place where it's like, follow this system step by step, you know, to funnel more girls into your rotation. And I don't think that's a good way to live your dating life. You know, I am way too busy with my regular life to have a system for my dating life. My dating life is, okay, I'm done working. Oh, I've got a few hours of free time on Saturday night. Well, I'm going to call some chicks. We're going to go out. We're going to party. We're going to have some drinks. We're going to smoke some cigars. I'm going to get a good blowjob. I'm going to take her home. I'm going to have sex with her. And I'm going to take her home in the morning, back to her place. Boom. Good dating life, right? I don't see a reason to apply a system. I'm just like, dude, if you have your shit together and you're living life on your own terms, you don't have to date like that. So I don't think a dating coach for the most part is very useful. I think there's general dating advice that tends to apply in situations, and you can get this advice for free all over the internet. So I agree with the black pill in terms of like dating roaches trying to steal your money. There's some good dating coaches, but for the most part, most of them are just trying to take your money. And there is no benefit to sitting around and having a complex about your looks. Crystal clear. I think you can all be like me, and some of you can do better than me. And guys, if there's no cues or super chats to answer, you get hit with this. Every single time. Q, a girl that I chilled with and made out with, but she stopped herself and said that she was seeing someone, and I told her, when you're ready, you can let me know. Then blocked me in the morning. Is that good? You know, I think she I think, you know, she might have been in a moment when she was doing that, and she might have thought she wanted to do it, but something happened that turned her off and made her no longer attracted to you. So she wants to forget all about the experience. You need to respect her decision and stay away from her. Where can you buy some LFA merch? The only merch I have is the merch that plays under my videos in the LFA channel, which is provided by Teespring. But on the main LFA channel, you can find it there. It's some of the most mediocre merch you'll ever find. If you're into mediocre merch, check it out. But the shirts do fit pretty nicely. You know, I could try some shirts on. One of these days I will. I should start wearing my own merch in these videos. But I'd rather party in my designer merch. That is the LFA dance. Yes, sir. I need to ink a deal with Gucci or Louis Vuitton or something. You waited too long to make a move, but can you start again in the future? Can a girl like you again? So you can definitely at any given time change the situation up. As a matter of fact, you can be like a shy, kind of quiet dude, and you can be around women. Maybe you go to, maybe at a college campus or a workplace or somewhere. You can be a guy that doesn't really talk that much and doesn't really make any moves for 2 or 3 fucking years. And all of a sudden, one day, you're fucking extreme, loud, aggressive, cocky, confident. And all of a sudden now you get their coochies wet. They operate off of emotions. They can change at the snap of a finger. But yes, once they've created a solid image of who they believe you are, it does get harder and harder to change that. But the thing is, you can still change it. And it starts with you. Stop worrying about what they're thinking and what they're feeling. Worry about yourself, and that's what's going to make them feel different anyways. Your take on virgin women. Even though you didn't put a Q, I'll read it. Good or bad for dating? Good, of course. Now, guys, I know a lot of people are very hard on women of the West. They think they're all sluts with these really high notch counts. I meet a lot of women in their like early to mid 20s who are actually not a lot that are virgins, but I meet quite a few. Like sometimes I'll meet a cute chick and I'll find out that like, you know, we've been talking for a couple weeks or whatever, and I'll like find out from a friend or whatever that, you know, she's asking her friend, how do you have sex? How do you do it? Oh my God, I don't want to embarrass myself. So some women out there are virgins. They're just not telling you. And it's usually a good sign, honestly. All right.
That's me. That's me. Big Daddy T-A-T to the E.
Why do you always say that women have babies and then want to get married? Isn't it the other way around? It should be love and marriage, and then comes a baby and a baby carriage. But in this day and age, it usually comes liquor and sex, pregnancy next, and marriage sometimes. Big boss, it's Mr. Plenty. I've been on the grind since 1999. With me, you're committing suicide. That's right. "90% of women have premature ejaculation, and all sluts start out as virgins. What matters is if she saved herself for you." Very true. Q, I have 2 20-pound dumbbells and a bench. Should I increase the weights to gain muscle or increase the dumbbells? Sir, you need to increase it all. Yes, sir. I really need to make a rap video. I was thinking about, so I was I was talking with a few local Tulsa rappers. Um, I mean, they're not very good. They're never gonna make. They're fucking great. They're gonna make it for sure. What am I saying? But I was thinking about funding the operation. You know, like, of course, if they come up with the beat and kind of the topic, I can write my own lyrics because I'm the kind of guy that likes to put my own work in. They'd probably be trash lyrics, but if I get a feel of how the song is going and listen to their verses and the chorus, I can put my own verse on there, and I could pay for the studio time. We can make a song that is good, but it's also funny. So it'll get them out there. I can post it to my channel so they'll get recognition. You know, these guys usually get like 1,000 views per video. I can get them like 50,000 views so they can get their name out there. Yeah, we can have CSS Element record the video. But the thing is, I want to do it in North Tulsa. So Tulsa is a, I don't know, it's kind of a like segregated city for the most part. There was one of the biggest like racial, there's one of the biggest instances of racial tension in the United States happened in Tulsa. It was like the Black Wall Street thing where like the whites and blacks went to war, and you know, it was a big deal. And you know, there's some neighborhoods up there that aren't so, you know, there's kind of rough neighborhoods, but that's where I want to record the video at. So you'd have to be willing to go into this area. You know, of course, we can all be armed and dangerous, and but I just want to make the video, man. Like I think it would be pretty cool. We can all make money together. See, that is what that's something that all different types of people can come together and you know, work together on, and that is making money together, especially as adults. As men, that's one of the best ways to build friendships with other men. It's making money together, right? LFA rap, yeah. LDU lifestyle, increase everything. Yes, sir. Davy Jones can be in it too. Yeah. Both show. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's in the process, and I have to get other people. You know, it's something I can't do by myself. I have to have other people involved. And we got to have the street cred involved too. And that'd be the big part, getting them into it. But again, money talks. Ted Withaka in the house says, hey, LFA, how are you, man? I'm doing great. Salute to you, sir. Good to have you here. We've got two Kenyan YouTubers in the house, Ted Withaka and LDU Lifestyle. Good to have you here, sir. Should say different lines from your classic videos. Yo, I was at the gym, and talk about that you discuss me. Yeah, it'd be good. Yes, sir. Yeah, they do it for the Hodge twins do a lot. They actually played a role in putting that other guy on. What's that kid that drives that big orange truck? He's like a conservative YouTuber. Forget, I could follow him on Facebook, but they put him on as well. Chat down. Crack-a-lackin' in the house. All right, no cues in the chat, guys. No cues. We'll hit you with the The worst part is I didn't even edit out putting the thing down like in between. Like I should have just flipped forward to the next scene, but then I was like kind of like putting it down and whatever. Who cares? Bone Thugs rap for Jesus. Everything else is mediocre in comparison. Kanye West raps for Jesus too. Actually, Kanye West and Eminem had a song about Jesus come out this summer. I think it's LFA. So you see a girl and there's a 30-second rule to approach women. I have no rules with approaching women. There's no time limit, no rule, no nothing. So if I see a hot, good-looking woman, and let's say I'm at a bar or something like that, and it's like, usually I'm busy doing shit. I'm not like dropping what I do to cold approach people. Like I'm doing shit. If I'm standing over there on the other side of the bar, like, and I'm looking at her and she looks at me and she's like, is this guy going to approach me? And then all of a sudden I start doing this. She knows she's just going to have to wait. I've got shit going on. She's not that important. I don't have to drop everything that I'm doing to go approach her. I can approach her anytime. Q, is waiting too long perceived by women as low value behavior? Comes across like you're unable and unwilling. Perhaps conveys lack of confidence. Now, yes, but it's different. If you're looking at her and just like staring at her and you are scared to make a move, she can probably sense that because your facial expressions are going to show it. But if you look at her, cock your head back, give her a look, kind of let her know you see her, and then you look the other way. Then she knows what's up. You're not afraid of her. You're doing your own thing. You'll get to her when you get to her. And somebody better might come along and you may never get to her. You may get to somebody else. But you're out to have a good time. You're not there putting pressure on yourself to approach her. Yeah. Q, how do you feel about your old MGTOW videos? Do you still stand on your old videos or have you changed your opinion? I haven't changed my opinion. I was making those videos for guys that were doing the MGTOW thing, and I think they were helpful to guys that were experiencing that. So it is what it is. Applause for the entertainment. Yes, sir. Teddy Wathaka, what's up, brother? Teddy Wathaka, what's up, brother? I think you're muted.
Oh, sorry. So there's just something wrong with my mic. I'm actually waiting for LD Lifestyle to open the call. I'm currently waiting for him to open the call. But then for the time being, yeah, I think I just joined uni. I just joined and I've come to notice when it comes to girls and just that in general, it's a gut-wrenching feeling. It's actually scary to approach and all. But then more often than not, there's a higher return on investment when you approach the beautiful girls. Because the beautiful girls don't get approached quite often. So they're a lot nicer than the chicks who are just average at best.
Yeah, well, the thing about the thing about thinking there's a risk in approaching a girl, I don't think there is. See, here's what's going to happen when you approach a girl. Only two things. There's only two options. Option number one is she likes you and she's cool with it. And option number two, she rejects you and she forgets all about you in 30 seconds. It's not something that's going to carry on for days or weeks or anything like that. She forgets all about you if she's not interested in you. So it's as if it never happened. So guys have to get out of their heads in terms of all that stuff.
Yeah, because and like the thing is, I really don't blame them. I really don't blame dudes because it's actually a scary feeling. But then I think one of the best ways to get rid of that fear is just to constantly put yourself at a position whereby, I mean, you just have to do it. It's just repetition, because it's just like driving. In a way, approaching girls, it's just like driving. Initially, you'll be scared. You'll have a couple of mess ups here and there, but then as you do it constantly, it starts to become second nature to you and all.
Gets
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. I mean, you approach a woman and you are who you are. Everybody has their own swagger, their own
Yeah.
charisma, their own personality. And that's what you do. You approach her with who you are. Whatever you are, that's who you are. And you approach every woman the same way because you're always you. And some of them are going to like you. Some of them aren't going to like you. The ones that don't like you are irrelevant. They're gone. They're out of the picture. You forget all about them. So I don't think guys should ever be afraid to approach women. I think women are it's fun to do. Every guy wants to be around beautiful women. You should be talking to beautiful women because you like to do it, not because you think it's like a task that you need to accomplish, something that's difficult to do. That's not how it's supposed to be. They're supposed to be fun.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Willie, were you going to say something?
No. I think I lost you guys for a second.
But now you're back.
Yeah, now I'm back.
Okay.
Like I'm looking at the chats, man. Looking like Akon. Who looks like Akon, bro?
Is Akon from Kenya? Where was
No,
he from?
man. He might be Nigerian or something. I don't know.
or
Akon.
from Ghana.
Ghana,
So
yeah.
maybe because I think
Ghana, West Africa.
No.
Kenya's
Yeah.
over the East Coast, isn't it?
East Africa, yeah, man.
Yeah.
East Africa.
Yeah. And Ghana is over there,
At the West, like Western
West.
Africa.
over by like Sierra Leone and Nigeria.
Yeah, those sides. I think that's why our accents are different. When
Yeah.
for people who live in Eastern Africa or people who live in Western Africa, because in Eastern Africa we more or less we speak our national language is more or less either English or Kiswahili.
Swahili. Yeah.
Or Swahili, yeah. Whereas over there in Western Africa, there's French, and then also it's just like a diverse place when it comes to language and all that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. And in South Africa, they kind of have like a British accent.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do. They even have whites, bro. Like they're like Americans. They have whites and blacks, dude. And then they have British accents. But then it depends on the area also, because there's some areas where like it's all black and then all of them have like a totally different accent. There's some areas where the people there look like me, and yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
then-
like
In South Africa, people that look like me are disliked because like I think it's frowned upon to have mixed race kids or something. I don't know. South Africa.
yeah, but then all in all, South Africa. I've actually been to South Africa, and Cape Town is a really good place to go. Cape Town is a nice place. I was in Johannesburg, and I think maybe it's just personal experience, but Johannesburg, they're a lot ruder. They're not really nice people. Cape Town, they're a lot more receptive. Plus, there's a beach, there's an awesome weather. Cape Town is a nice place to be. If you're in South Africa, Cape Town would be a good place to go.
Yeah, I have a lot of viewers in South Africa. Like when I look at
Yeah,
my
South Africans
analytics,
be into red pill stuff though.
what's that?
South Africans be into red pill stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
you should have enough views from SA.
Yeah, they do. I'll go on Instagram and I'll see that I'm tagged by like a bunch of South Africans.
Yeah. But then more or less on the topic of approaching girls. Thing is, we get rejected. It's a lot. You're a lot better than like 98% of dudes wouldn't really have the balls to go and do it. So now it's a
Yeah,
risk. The downsides are simply that if she's really mean, like you're gonna meet like a few mean girls. But then anyway, those ones, just like you said, they don't really matter. They're not really people you'd want to be with in the first place. Yeah. And that's just how it is. By the way, have you seen the rise of the passport bros?
The passport bros, yes. So I take no issue with guys traveling. Like if you have your shit together, you make a lot of money and you like to travel, to Europe, you like to travel to, Asian countries, you like to travel to Brazil and South American countries, African countries,
Yeah.
wherever you want to go to. That's fine. Everybody loves to travel. You want to see the world and see what the world has to offer. And of course, we're all men. So when you're going to those countries, you're probably going to be talking to women. So I understand that part of it. But I think an issue that a lot of these guys have is they're unable to get women in their own area, their own country, their own city. So what they do is they take their money and status and they go over to like a country that's poor and they use that money and status as leverage to get women. You know what I mean? I think that's what a lot of them are doing. And I know the passport bros are like getting big in the black side of the manosphere right now, but passport bros have always been a thing in the white community. And white people have always viewed the dudes that are going out to fucking Thailand and China and those countries to try to get women as betas. Like we've always viewed them as losers, basically. But I understand if a guy has money, he has status, he wants to travel and he wants to talk to a lot of women. I get that part. But if your reason for doing it is because you're struggling and you think you're going to do better somewhere else, I think that's weak.
Yeah, man. It's like here in Africa, man. Our parents always tell us like, "Oh, dude, if these modern women are ran through, then why don't you just go get a girl from the village?" And I'm like, you like I apply the principle of AWOLT, and not like AWOLT is not like actually like all women are like that, but all women are capable of being like that. So if you go and pull a girl from the village, it's the same thing as going to a poor country, and it's same difference, bro. So you go and get a girl from the village, she's still corruptible, bro. That girl that you're going to from a poor country to show your money and status, then you take her to like America, or you even bring her to Nairobi, Kenya, because this is Nairobi is pretty developed. So like she's still corruptible. So whatever you're trying to run away from, she will turn into that. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually true. So usually there's this guy in our country. His name is Andrew Kibe. He's a manosphere content creator. When you get the time, just check him out. So Andrew Kibe usually has these Twitter spaces. He has these Twitter spaces, and there's one guy who came up to his Twitter space, and he was talking about how this guy he grew up in a village, then he moved to the US to work. He worked, he made his money, got his status and all. He came back to Kenya, got a chick from the village, and then flew him out, and then flew the girl out to the States. And then when the girl got to the States, she was utterly corrupted. Within 3-5 years, this guy was divorce gripped. This guy lost everything. His kids didn't respect him anymore and all that. So yeah, it goes back to Willie's point on just the AWOLs, and the fact that just every single woman you interact with can't be corrupted. And it actually ties back to a video you made last week on why you should never live with your status, or why you should never live with your wallet. Because it's something that will come to backfire pretty quickly. It will mess you up in the long term. Plus, all you do is just attract gold diggers.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to finding somebody, if you're looking for like a relationship with somebody, I think most people will do their best when they're getting with somebody who they can relate to. So, you know, in terms of like the passport bros, like guys that are trying to use their money and status to get women, they're not actually connecting with women that are on their level. You know what I mean? So when they get with these women, at the end of the day, it's probably not going to work out. Like if I went to Brazil and got with some chick that barely speaks English, that comes from some village, she's really poor, and I'm just taking care of her. I put her in a nice car, put her in a nice house, put her in some nice clothes, and she's cool with dating me, then like the relationship might work out, but we don't relate on anything. Like she's not somebody I can't kick back and have a good conversation with her. You know, all she is just some arm candy that I have. But if I get with a chick that comes from my neighborhood that has been through the same shit that I've been through, you know, we can sit back, we can talk, we can relate about all kinds of shit, so we can build together. You know, that's a healthy relationship. I don't think you can just move to another country and get that from somebody that, you know, is totally different than you. But, you know, whatever.
Now, for me, I think the caveat to that on the passport bros, it's like you see a lot on TikTok and all, and this is not all women, but then there are a good number of them who are very entitled, and some of them are pretty ratchet, right? And so, in a way, I kind of see where the passport bros are coming from. Of course, there's some who just do it because there's some, but from the people I've watched and also the people I've interacted with in that community, personally, there are just some who, there are only a few who like have that better tendency of just wanting to go out and just deal with chicks because you know they can't. So you're just going out and just using the money and status. There's some people there who look at some of the ratchet chicks and they're like, you know what? I don't want this chick to be the mother of my kids. I don't want this chick to be. She's not wife material and all. I'd rather just go to a more conservative society and just find a girl there. So in a way, I kind of see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
And then also the divorce the divorce laws in the States and all, I think there's some people who just want to like get away from it. So in a way, I see where the passport bros are coming from in a way.
Yeah, I see everything that you're saying, and I see what they're doing there. And I don't hate on them. I have nothing against what they're doing, but I also see a different side. So I saw two prominent dating coaches diss the passport bros in the last couple of months. Alpha Male Strategies dissed them, and Mr. Lucario dissed them. And that is because, I mean, I agree with Alpha Male Strategies and Mr. Lucario because they basically have the same mindset as what I just said. Mr. Lucario can get a girl right there in his neighborhood, and she's not going to be ratchet when she's with him. You know, she'll submit to him. She'll be a good woman to him. Alpha Male Strategies can get a woman right there in his neighborhood. She might have used to been a ratchet, but when she gets with him, she's going to be feminine. She's going to be submissive. That's because they know how to handle women. They know how to handle ratchet women. They know how to handle, you know, women from the hood or whatever it may be. But a lot of guys don't really have the tool set to do that. They don't know how to do that. So, you know, it might be a guy that's college educated. He makes a lot of money. You know, he's done a lot of good things in his life, but he doesn't know how to be masculine around women. So women still walk all over him and go and fuck the bad boy. And if you're a guy that's experiencing that on a regular basis, you're going to say, fuck these ratchet bitches. They don't know how to treat a man. I'm going somewhere else. So I understand it. But if you know how to contain a woman, then you don't have to go somewhere else. So I see the dating coach side too.
Yeah. There are actually many different ways and different perspectives on just looking at the passport bros in general. But yeah, but I think both of them make a lot of sense. And I actually
like,
did see that side of it.
If you look at both sides, you get the sense in both of them. You know?
Yeah.
And but I think the biggest case that the passport bros have in their favor is, you know, you can ask the simple question: are the women better in the United States, or are they better in South America? Are they better in the United States, or are they better in Asia? Right. And a lot of people will say, well, they're better in South America. They cook, they clean, they're loyal. You know, they don't divorce you. They're good mothers. They're good wives. And in the United States, for for the most part, most of them aren't. So I understand what they're saying, and that makes sense. Where are the women better? They're probably better there. But you can train a woman to be a good woman, no matter where you're at. You know, if she wants to be with you bad enough, she'll do whatever to make you happy.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true, man. But then, all in all, man, it's been a while since I hopped on these calls. It's been a
Yeah,
minute
man.
because I ain't really like we've been extremely busy with
Work.
making money in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, finally the video
Yeah.
editing business has started to make money. So we've been extremely busy with client work. So it's been an honor to show up on your show and actually state our piece and all. And as always, Giga Chad, you're looking good, glowing and all that. So yeah, I'm absolutely
Yeah,
grateful
man.
to be here, man. We are grateful to be here, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
My
Couple of-
Instagram got hacked, bro. So it kind of messed with the fitness side of my business. But the video editing stuff is going really good, bro. So, dude, by next year, bro, we'll have a sick podcast, man. By next year,
That's it.
like our podcast will be even sicker, better equipment, everything will be cool, man. And it will be cool to have you on as well, bro.
Absolutely. Just let me know when.
Yeah, man. Of course, man.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. But it's sometime next year.
Okay. Are you guys are you going to do it just strictly on YouTube, or are you going to have it on other platforms?
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll
we'll
put
have
it
to
on other
diversify.
platforms.
Like
Yeah.
Rumble. Like
Yeah.
with YouTube
Yeah.
and not to Rumble.
Yeah, you can actually so you can play them on like StreamYard or whatever you're going to run it through to have a multi-panel thing, and then upload it also to Rumble. You can connect your YouTube channel to your Rumble, so it automatically uploads on both.
Oh,
And then you can
okay.
download it from StreamYard or wherever and put it on Spotify. So you're triple dipping.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, man. I guess we should make room for the next caller. There's a dude on the private chat that's talking about he has something cool to like
Okay.
for us to hear, man. So yeah, let's make room for him, man. All right,
Okay.
LFA.
All right. Be sure to post
Alright,
your
peace.
peace out. Post your channel
What?
in the chat.
Oh, for sure, man, for sure.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
Bye, take care, man.
You too. Bye-bye. All right.
How do I leave?
I can do it. All right. Peace out, bro. John, what's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going?
Going good. How about you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. It's pretty crazy even talking to you. Can't believe I'm online. Shout out to the guys for getting your attention. So yeah, 28-year-old guy from Ireland. Quite successful car sales business, self-employed. Decided to take a few months off this summer. Went on holiday to Greece. I met this French girl, and it was very romantic. And one thing led to another, and I went back to Ireland. She went back to France, and I was sort of infatuated with this girl, and I would say she was chasing me more than I was chasing her. We were planning to meet up and whatnot, and we booked a holiday for the south of France, Nice. And leading up to it, I got overly attached. And she told me then a week before Nice, oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to Italy. And I said, well, what are you going there for? And she was like, oh, I'm just going to see a friend. And I asked, is it a guy? She's like, yeah. And I lost the plot for that one. I was quite disagreeable with it, and then it probably showed off that I was insecure. And then from that moment onwards, things just were negative, right? And you're probably thinking, right, okay, she's just some girl, just get over it. But there was like a really good spark between me and her.
Mhm.
And we were sort of talking after and stuff. I ended up going to Nice. I just got my friend to book on, and she was watching my Snapchat story constantly and whatever. And it was the conversation was quite minimal, and then I just stopped talking to her. But then, I think it was last night. Well, there was a few days ago we were just engaging and stuff, but I wasn't giving her too much attention. I was just being laid back about it. But now I don't know if I'm in a position where she sees me as just free attention, or if she's maybe trying to suss out if things could work. And I've said to her, look, she lives beside. There's a city in France called Lyon. She lives beside it, and I've said, look, I can get a direct flight. I says, look, I'm gonna go there with a friend. Come see me. And she's giving me all the I don't know stuff. So should I just leave it?
You should leave it. If you say you're going to go visit her and she's giving you the runaround, that's her way of saying that she doesn't want you to come visit her. I know that's like hard to accept because when you guys were together, everything seemed to be so good, but something happened and she moved on.
Mm-hmm.
That's.
She said last night that she would come to Ireland at some point in the near future. I asked her when, and she said, "Oh, she hasn't booked it yet, whatever." So,
yeah, so it's okay to keep in touch with her and ask her questions like, "When are you coming back to Ireland? When are you going to come visit me?" And throw that idea out there. And it's okay to call her and talk on the phone or whatever. Like you can spend a night during the week or whatever, once every couple of weeks talking to her on the phone or some shit like that. Sweet talk her and try to get her to come over. But at this point, it's out of your hands. She's already moved to France and, she's out there probably partying, probably having sex with French dudes, probably living her life. And for the most part, she's giving you the runaround.
She's told me that she hasn't dated anyone, and I said that's bullshit, but she stands by it.
Yeah.
But if she's telling me she hasn't dated anyone, does that not show that she wants me to still be interested? If she could just be straight up about it and say, look, I'm not interested, but she will talk to me. So why is this just attention she wants?
Well, so what you're doing is you're searching for like the silver lining here, the light at the end of the tunnel. You're searching for good things. You're thinking, okay, well, because she's behaving like this, she must still like me. She must be interested in me. But the medium is the message. She moved to a different country.
She's from France. She's from
okay.
France. She's French.
But she visited, you met her in Ireland?
No, I met her in Greece on holiday.
You met her in Greece. Okay.
She went back to France. I went back to Ireland. We booked Nice in the south of France, and everything was going great. But then she told me a week before Nice that she was going to Italy to see a friend, and then I flipped because she told me it was some guy. Apparently, he had a boyfriend. It was a co-worker. I didn't really buy it, but I'm okay with that because because that happened, I thought to myself, right, she's not really, future material, but maybe if I want to play around for the next few years, she can just be someone I can go and see. We can have a nice time, but I don't even know if I can achieve that now. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So for me personally, if I'm going to start out by telling you what I would do in a situation like this, if I'm talking to a girl and something happens and we are now 1,000 miles away from each other and there's no guarantee that we're ever going to see each other again, I'm totally deleting her from everything. Mm-hmm. I mean, she can reach out to me if she wants to, but I'm going to do my own thing just for my own mental sanity. I'm not going to be attached to somebody that I may or may not ever see again. So that's what I would recommend that you do, but I understand you're going to do your own thing.
No, I'm going to take a recommendation. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but you're trying to keep the dream alive.
Yes, but I think this is why I've come on here. I was on YouTube. I seen there was a chat. I thought, right, there's actually guys talking to him. What the hell? Great. So I chanced it, and here I am.
So what you can do is you can offer her a trip to Ireland so she can spend a weekend with you or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can set up a date. So first you want to talk to her, you know, you want to keep that connection going, talk to her on the phone for a little bit, and then set up an official date where you're going to fly her out to Ireland or boat or whatever it is, whatever you would take
It'll
out.
be a flight, yeah.
And pay for her trip so she can spend a weekend with you and you guys can get to know each other and set a date when it's going to happen. And then make it official, you know, set up the flight and everything and do it that way. But if she's not willing to do it, if she's just constantly saying like, nah, I can't, I'm going to be busy that week. It's like, you can get a weekend off. You know, you could take vacation, you can do whatever it is. Everybody can get free time. So if she's not willing to get the free time and spend the time with you, then that means she's not interested and you just have to move on. But you have to actually, you know, have the emotional discipline to put the offer on the table and allow her to, you know, she has the freedom to make the move or to not make the move. If she doesn't make the move, you got to move on.
Yeah, no, that was put perfect. I liked your the words emotional discipline. Yeah, look, I just wanted to get advice, and I think I've got it now. So great. I like what you're doing, by the way. You're doing a good job. So keep at it.
Thank you, sir. I hope it works out for you.
Yeah, all the best. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Keep hope alive. Yeah, as men, we have we have a tendency to do that. So we'll meet a woman and it seems like everything is going so well, and then it's just not going well anymore based on whatever circumstances happened. But in our minds, we're still trying to keep that dream alive. So we're like, yeah, you know, if we just do it like this or like that, and you know, reorganize some things a little bit, we can make it work. But in all actuality, it's just a dream. It's just hope. You're trying to keep it alive, but it's already gone. But yeah, as Cold Steel says, set up date immediately and ghost her if she isn't interested. Exactly. And this is good advice here too. He says LFA is right. Just invite her, set up the flight, organize everything, and stop being passive. I like the word passive, because if you're not making moves and taking control of the situation, which is what you're doing by telling her, hey, I can fly you out in the first week of November or some shit like that. I can fly you out. You can spend, you know, 3 days with me and, you know, whatever. And if she's not willing to do it, it is what it is. But you can't be passive and just hope something will eventually happen. You got to make the move, and red light or green light. Geraldo Jimenez in the house.
And now, introducing the Aristotle of the real G's.
Thank you, Geraldo Jimenez. Hang on. No, you don't tell her, you show her.
Dude, okay, so
Hold on.
my question is...
That's not going to work. You won't be able to hear the audio. I was going to play Geraldo's highlights from last week, but can't do it. All right, guys. No questions or super chats in, and we aren't going to end the show just yet. So since there's no questions... Question: do you see yourself married in 5 years? Sure. Why not? Hang on. I'm going to actually upload that to my other channel. Now we're not going to make it a short. We're going to make it the whole video. Because I want to watch it.
Is my way or the highway?
All right. Boom. A Paraminal with the $6.99 Canadian ducats. We just met and she's controlling everything. Is done on her time. What should I do about it, LFA? You just met. She's controlling and everything is done on her time. Well, she, for some reason, thinks that the power dynamic is completely in her favor. She controls the situation. So what you're going to have to do when she's trying to control the situation, you're going to have to say, we have to stop doing this. I'm a person, I'm a man, and you're a woman. You're going to have to stop controlling this situation. So here's how I want this done. Okay. And I need you to listen to me because there's a reason why I want it done this way. Here's why I want it done this way. When we do it this way, this is the result we get. So I need you to follow me and I need you to trust me in this situation. Just trust what I'm doing here. Believe in me. I know what I'm doing, and you're going to love it in the end. So let me take control. Q, thoughts on the idea of having to train women that enter your life? Well, that's just the way it goes, bud. All right. All right, here we go. It's going to be a while before the 1080p version shows up, but Geraldo, here's your call from last week.
Or the highway? It's my way or the highway?
No, you don't tell her, you show her.
Ooh, dude. Okay, so my question is, how do you show this girl that? How do you show her that, yeah, I am the man in this warehouse? All these guys, they don't got nothing on me. But me, I'm the real deal.
No. I was muted. One more question before we bring the caller on. Peace Lemon says, if you wait too long before making a move, can you try again in the future after she is gone? Yes, sir. There is no better time than now. And that will never change. Shape your future. What's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going?
Going great. How about you?
I'm good. That clip that you played with the dancing, I think is fucking hilarious. Every time
That's
you
a good
play
one,
it, it
isn't
makes me laugh. I just wanted to thank you because you know, a lot of your videos have really helped me out in the last little bit, and I think, like as you said, like men's mental health is really poor, you know, nowadays, and having the right mindset towards dating would really help you, how to say, survive. I looked at some like comments about like this girl that, you know, we've been talking for a while, and there's an obvious connection, and then she basically fell off the face of the earth. So, you know, 2 weeks later she came back, but it was really hard to, you know what I mean? Like the conversation is really awkward. There's no like substance, you know what I mean? Like there's no point in having a conversation unless you're making moves, right? So
Right.
so we, you know what I mean? Like I'm having this conversation, but it's just really awkward. And it's kind of like, what the fuck is the point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was like having questions of like, you know, how I get off the fence. Because I know I have a general idea of like, for instance, like why I was not working before. And, you know, also like, you know, a person's attachment style makes them a little bit harder to form, you know, a healthy relationship. But, you know, I don't have the patience or like this, you know, you mean like you take such a mental toll trying to like accommodate this person for so long. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, forget it. This is the deal. And if you don't want it, then I'm out of here, right?
Yeah, well, it's frustrating when you're dating somebody who you feel like you have to walk them through everything, and then you feel like you have to carry them through every situation, and you feel like you're putting all this effort into it and they're not, and then they turn around to back off and ghost you.
Exactly.
And it's like, and you know that the only way to get them back into the situation is to physically go pull them back into the situation yourself.
Yeah.
Because they're just going to keep, you know, they're an avoidant person. They have this this deal where they're just not social. They want to be by themselves or something like that. So that's what they're going to do. But even in a situation like that, you have to understand they left most likely because for some reason they were smothered. You were doing too much, even though you might not have been doing hardly anything at all.
Yeah.
So, you know, to some women, maybe you weren't putting enough effort into it, but to her, it was too much and it was smothering. So what do you think is going to get you the better results? To continue to smother and actively try to get the relationship to work out, or to ghost her yourself?
Yeah.
Go no contact, give her time to miss you.
Well, yeah, it will be the second time now, right? But you're absolutely right, because you know you keep, you know, you don't want to smother them, and some girls are like that, and so you know what I mean? It feels very one-sided, right? Because you know I'm trying to like get some type of thing going, and she's just not responding, right? So
yeah,
the only way it will work out is if she comes to me, right? And
right.
You know, and the thing with like being a man, it actually feels a lot better when you're the one who's making the decisions for yourself, and you know this is what you want, you say what you want, and you're leading, right? Because in in this conversation, I'm the one sending messages, but she's leading because she's not replying, right? So if I'm the one saying, hey, this is the deal, like if you don't want it, then I'm just gonna walk away, then you feel like you're leading, and who cares if they don't come back?
Yeah. It's kind of like if there's a connection there, then you don't have anything to worry about it. If there is no connection, you have to let it go. So it's almost like the two of you have picked up, you both have a can in your hand connected with a string, right? You're playing the telephone game. So when you both have the telephone in the hand, it's like somebody can run with the telephone and you're naturally going to chase, because it's like, well, they're running and I have to, you know, this cord's only so long, so I have to chase. And the natural process is usually eventually you get tired of chasing and you just kind of stop. And then the cord stretches to the fullest length that it can stretch. And then the other person has no choice but to start chasing you because you're still connected. So that's kind of how emotional connections work as well. So when you're constantly chasing, that's the dynamic that your relationship has. It's she's the runner and you're the chaser. Then if you stop running and you just stand still and she keeps running, then eventually she's going to get so far away that if she wants you back, she's going to have to start chasing you. That's the only option that she has. And you need to allow that dynamic to take place, or accept the fact that if that dynamic does not take place, then it was never meant to be.
Yeah. And I think I'm totally there now, because I think just being so one-sided, it just doesn't feel good, right?
Right.
One of the things you said was, I don't think I could hold this emotional space for you in the long term, right? And that, to me, that screams like, hey, like has difficulty like forming like a connection with someone and giving them the time, right? Because she feels like she's obligated to someone's time, right? Or obligated to give someone time.
Yeah.
in a secure relationship, you want to spend time with each other, right? And you don't automatically write people off that way. So I don't know. It's rough, but I'm willing to take it like that. Because it's better to leave it than continue chasing and feel like shit for doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, that's the best move for you to do. There is nothing worse than constantly trying to hold a relationship together when the other person isn't really putting that much effort into it. It's just such a terrible feeling at the end of the day. And you might have highs and lows. So you might have a high when it seems like things are going well and you're like, okay, here it is. Finally, it's going to happen. And then she just fucking like totally pops the bubble and deflates everything out of nowhere. And it's like, everything was so good. It was finally here. And then pop, it's gone. It's further than it's ever been. She destroyed it all again. And people with avoidant attachment styles, avoidant personality disorders, that's what they do. They want that emotional connection and they want it to happen, but they self-sabotage everything because something internally causes them to not want to be that close to somebody, because when they get close to somebody like that, that's when they get abused or they get traumatized or just something happens and it stops working.
Yeah.
Passport King, Offie Kingdom. Salute, brother.
I definitely think that there
With
are like
you.
self-esteem issues too, right? But
Yeah.
there's one additional question I have. So
Okay.
one of the things that I did was I said, hey, this is clearly what I want. And then she was on the fence. And then now I sent her messages and she's left me on red. But how do you feel about making it like super clear, like just being like, hey, like, this is the deal, like this is what I want. And if you feel like you're changed, then you can message me. Or do you just feel like just leaving it and just ghosting?
I don't think you need closure. I think that's a stupid way to go about it. I know in your head you might think it's a good way to go, but if she's pulling back and she is not she's not into the relationship anymore, she's already spoke pretty clearly about her feelings. So there's no reason for you to reach out and be like, hey, here's the ultimatum or here's what we need to do. Instead, just ignore her just as hard as she's ignoring you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. And I know I've said this several times in this podcast, but if you want to make a woman miss you, you have to let that happen. You have to go no contact, because if you continue to contact her, you continue to reach out, even if it's these small little like, hey, how you been type shit.
Yeah.
She's still getting that attention from you, and you're never allowing her to regret losing you.
Yeah.
She needs to feel some sort of regret.
It's weird because you say that you know that I don't need closure, but I feel like I take a lot of power back when I do. I mean, that's just my thought. I actually haven't done it, so it's hard because I've been trying to reconcile some of the like dating advice, but also like some advice that I've gotten from like counseling and therapy as well. So these are like things that people like. These are things that don't really work together. Like
the real closure comes from being strong enough to walk away without needing closure.
Right. Huh. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, thank you. I'm going to go and make myself some dinner. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks for calling in, buddy.
Bye.
Offie Kingdom in the house. Salute to you, sir. Reach out. We need to collaborate sometime. Oh, dude. Fucking.
Appreciate you. Somebody keeps saying we need a collab, man.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, man. Disgusting, bro. LFA, thank you for the donation. They made over $13 billion selling
Oh, hold on.
and didn't do no time.
I donated to Big Herc's show last night. Hold on.
LFA, thank you for the donation. You're a great inspiration, Big Herc. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, man. Appreciate you. Somebody keeps saying we need to collab, man. Send me a DM at Big Herc 916 on Instagram. See what's cracking.
I got to collaborate with Big Herc. You know, it's always weird when other YouTubers know who you are. Like YouTubers that you watch, because YouTubers, we're just regular people, you know, and so we watch YouTube too. And when people that you watch but you don't know who you are, it's just it's such a weird situation. But yeah, Big Herc is the man. I definitely have to reach out to him, even if it's like just a quick interview. If I can get him on the channel for an hour or so, it'd be educational. I think people would like it. All right, guys, no questions in the chat. You know what happened. Does a high follower count indicate that a woman belongs to the streets? Not necessarily, especially if she has it on oh, there are questions. Yeah, especially if she has it on like open for anybody to follow that wants to. Like, would I be for the streets because I have people following me on YouTube? Or like, should I put everything on private so like nobody can see it? I don't know. I don't necessarily think that is. Vivian Venetia, do you think it is possible to misdiagnose someone when they have no real depth training things and personality disorders and attachments? Yeah, definitely. I don't think you should diagnose somebody with something. I was just saying that you know, it's a possibility. I was saying that's kind of a opposite of a black pill. Jesse, what's up, brother?
How's it going, man?
Going well. How about you?
Pretty good. I started a new job on Monday. We'll see how that goes.
Good deal.
Yeah.
What's the job?
Huh?
What's the job?
It's going to be returning to what I used to do, except for I'm not even sure if I can say anything, but I guess it's working with kids. So we'll see how that goes.
That'll be cool.
I never thought I'd be working with kids, but I guess it was the first time for everything.
Yeah.
What's your you know what? I wanted to ask, like, how do you feel about like kids? Like not like having kids, but like being around kids, interacting with them, that sort of thing.
Kids are amazing. They're the future. You know, they're innocent. They are you know, they don't they haven't been corrupted by society, so they are they're good, positive forces of nature.
Would you say if kids don't tend to like somebody, would you say that it's a good judge of the character of that person, that they probably aren't a good, you know, they're probably people with bad character, or not necessarily?
Maybe, but not necessarily. You know, a kid can make a quick judgment on somebody based on, like, they can think somebody's ugly, so they can say, I don't like this person. But I mean, it's, you know, it is what it is.
Right.
And then after they grow up, they may regret the way they acted as kids.
That's definitely part of me. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way, but yeah, when you grow up, you sometimes realize that, you know, how you acted back then is not at all how you should have acted. And, you know, sometimes as kids, we just kind of react to our environment, or react to the people around us. So,
yeah.
So I'll just get to it. I feel like this is going to be a loaded question, but I feel like it might help people. And I feel like I feel like I could benefit from it as well.
Mm-hmm.
What tips would you give for men and women, I guess, to communicate effectively? What I mean is, like, when you talk to somebody, like specifically you, I find that you're able to articulate your ideas and you're able to get the person to see your viewpoint. Whereas other people, it takes them a longer time for them to see what they're trying to say or to understand what they're trying to say. So what are your tips on effective communication, and as far as like people actually respecting what you say? Because you know there's tons of people who talk and people want to listen, and other people who, once they open their mouth, like probably after about, I'd say 15, 20 seconds, they realize that they don't respect the person as much, and they're willing to debate whatever they're saying, or they're just not receptive to it at all.
Well, it depends on who you're communicating with. And what are you talking about, men and women communicating with each other, like relationship wise, or just in general, like two people having a conversation and communicating?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying like in a friendly communication manner, even like at a party or at a club, you quickly find out who is going to be the person who's going to, they're going to conversate, they're going to enjoy the conversation. And then other people, sometimes when they open their mouth, they're going to find themselves, what I was going to say is they're going to find themselves not being able to be part of the conversation. And, I guess if I'm honest, sometimes I am that guy. Sometimes I'm able to participate in the conversation and people like what I'm hearing. People like what they're hearing. And other times it's just, I can only get a few words in.
In basic conversation and group conversation, there's typically a topic that people are talking about, and people that are knowledgeable and interested in the topic, they're all discussing it. Right. So if you try to enter that conversation and you're not knowledgeable about it, so what you do is you try to steer the conversation off into a different direction. Mm-hmm. You're a bad conversationalist because they're trying to have a conversation about X and you come in with Y.
Right.
So you're going to be viewed as somebody they don't want to have a conversation with. And they're going to be giving you looks like, I wish this guy would stop talking to us, because you're not contributing to the conversation. So like in a group conversation, you have to be knowledgeable about the topic and you have to feed into the topic with the flow of the conversation.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So let's say you were knowledgeable about the topic, right? But for some reason, they're just not being receptive. Like either they don't think you know what you're talking about, or for some reason it's taking, they're just basically not receptive. Like, I don't know, if you're bringing something up about, like, a lot of times, like we'll talk about motorcycles, right? Or even like, rifles. And sometimes, I try to enter the conversation. I'm not too knowledgeable on it, but I know enough about it. But over time, it's just that sometimes the people, how to say this, it's not like they want to talk about like the barrels, the caliber and stuff of that and things like that. But it's just like the way that they're talking about it and the way they bring up the conversation and the way they want to steer it, it's just not something I can pick up on. So that's what I was saying when it comes to effective communication, because it just seems like people sometimes don't want to just talk about their knowledge. It's just a certain way that people just have to get, you know what I mean? So that's what I was saying about effective communication.
Yeah. Well, if you're not knowledgeable about the situation, you're better off just keeping quiet.
Right.
In that situation, because if you start to talk about something that you know nothing about, you're just going to make yourself look stupid and your credibility is going to go down even worse.
That's fair.
And if you try to change the subject to something you're more knowledgeable on, you're going to be annoying because they're trying to have a conversation about, fucking four-wheelers and motorcycles. You don't know anything about four-wheelers and motorcycles. So you switch the conversation to guns or something, it's just going to be annoying. Like, why does this guy always think he has to be the center of attention and change the conversation to what he wants it to be?
Gotcha.
So that's how that situation should go. Mm-hmm. But in general, what you want to do in a conversation is be able to either do one of two things. Number one, make an interesting contribution to the conversation. So, for example, somebody's talking about hunting deer. They're telling a story about when they hunted a deer. You have a story about when you hunted a deer. You're throwing in your own interesting perspective on the situation. That's one thing that you can do. Or number two, you can make a solid point, right? It's got to be factual. Like you're in a debate and you're hitting them with the facts and the points, because then you're knowledgeable. You know what you're talking about. And that's respectable. But yeah, that's what I would say.
I gotcha. No, because I also realized that you're also a great storyteller. And from stories, usually people can, they basically have the assumption that you know exactly what you're talking about because you've been through it and now you can tell it from your perspective. I guess go ahead.
I like to illustrate a picture in people's minds when I'm explaining a video. I think that's the way to go about it.
No, yeah. And also, you know, the other thing that I realized is that one of the things that I've never been able to pick up on, because I tend to be more analytical when it comes to conversations, especially sometimes with you. I mean, I'm not that analytical in real life, but whenever I enter into a conversation that's like around a group of people, I end up being the more analytical person. And so, you know, a couple people said, you know, you just got to learn how to shoot the shit sometimes. And so I think, I don't know. I mean, are they basically saying that I have to be more lax in how I talk and not approach it? And because I feel like people are basically saying that I'm taking things too serious.
Yeah, I mean that could be the case when people are just bullshitting and joking around and having fun. And if you turn it into like a serious argument or something of that nature, it's kind of a buzzkill to people.
Gotcha.
You know, it's like if I knew this guy that would always start his sentence with actually. So it was like you knew he was about to fucking, and it was so fucking annoying. So we would be like sitting there talking about like, oh, hey, did you hear that new Kendrick Lamar album? That shit was fucking good. That was like, yeah, it was like one of the best albums that came out in the last 3 years or something. Actually, it's kind of garbage. Like he took those beats from this and that, and he's like, and rap music doesn't require that much talent anyways. And it's like, okay, cool. You have no interest in being part of this conversation. Obviously, you bring nothing to the conversation. So you just say, actually, I'm superior and my thoughts are better than yours. And that's how people take it. You know what I mean? So you might think in your head that you have a point, but in reality, it's like nobody cares about that point. You'd be better off just staying quiet for a minute and waiting for another topic to arise.
Right. No, it's good that you brought that up because I used to be that guy. I used to be the one that says no. Like if you look at the stars, if you look at the engagement, you look at fans, there's definitely better rappers out there and so forth. And it's like sometimes I have to figure out how to draw a balance between authenticity and like reading the room and figuring out what they're interested in, you know? So it's like, that's basically what I've been struggling with. It's like towing the line with the authenticity and then figuring out that people don't care about the authenticity and they just want to talk about the topic at hand. They don't care about your opinion. So.
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. I gotcha. Well, also, I guess there's one more aspect. It's like, do you have any tips on do you have any tips on people like learning how to communicate like in shorter sentences? Like I find even with you, I tend to ramble. Like it takes me longer to get to the point. Whereas with you, you're able to, it's like you're not even thinking about it at all. I know you're not like planning something in your head and you say something. It's like it just comes naturally to you. It's like you're quick-witted or something like that.
Well, I believe that's just and I don't think that can be taught. I think that's something somebody has or they don't have. But trust me, when I do these 3-hour streams, you know, there's times when I'm like exhausted and don't have anything to say. So I'm just on here saying, crank your knob. You know, I'm just like occupying time doing absolutely nothing. So, you know, I think it has to do with actually paying attention to the issue at hand. Like there's times when I'm reading the chat and somebody's talking on the screen and I'm supposed to be listening to them, but I'm like reading a super chat or something and I miss a big chunk of what they just said. And then I got to go back and be like try to give an answer, but I don't really know what they said. So I think actually paying attention to what the other person is saying and listening to it, internalizing it, and then giving your feedback about it is the way to do it. So most people, when they're having a conversation, they're thinking of what they're about to say. So they're coming up with their next point. Right. And when you're doing that, you're not listening to what the other person's saying. And if you want to have a good conversation, you got to listen to what the other person's saying. That's why when I have people on, sometimes I interrupt when we're like, everybody's getting chaotic and we're talking, everybody's trying to talk at once. But for the most part, I just shut up and listen and I let them finish their point. And then I'll go on with mine. And that's the way that it goes. But you have to listen to what the other person's saying so you can give an honest feedback. And that's when it'll come natural.
No, yeah. Like, I was just thinking about it, having these 3-hour live streams, I noticed that, you never skip a beat. Nobody ever says anything like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about or he's pausing too long. You're always able to keep some kind of flow. No matter if anybody brings up a question, you're always able to bring a point across that most people can say, hey, I kind of get where he's coming from. So
yeah, it's a work in progress. If you watch my old streams from like a year ago at this date, they were terrible. I mean, they were fun because, we had like V-Taper and we had everybody calling in, Davy Jones all the time and CSS Element. But my hosting capabilities were not very good at that point because I wasn't used to live streaming.
I gotcha. Well, man, I felt like I tried to get the idea across, but I was stumbling all over it. But hopefully it makes sense to viewers. Other than that, man, I'll catch you later, man. It's always good talking to you.
Yeah, bud, you did a good job. Thanks for calling in.
I'll see you.
All right, bye-bye. All right. Questions in the chat. If there are any, I missed them because we were on a call. No super chats, no questions. So you know what that means. I need to make a 3-minute video of that. And get that beat going. Put the 3-minute version on the Clips channel. Will do. What if it's not smothering? What if it's just misalignment between what is being said and what is being acted upon? Well, you never know. Well, if there's misalignment, then continuing to repeat the same pattern is only going to cause the misalignment to get worse. 10-minute loop. I need to get a good beat on here. I'm going to have to... I actually just need to get that beat so I can press the button and hit that beat, and I'll just do it on screen live each night. So anytime I'll dance for super chats is what I'll do. So anytime I need a quick buck, maybe we'll get a better beat. Who knows? If the pattern changes, it changes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. What a silly Chad. Giga Chad. Shout out to all the Giga Chads, Giga Tyrones, Giga Juans, Giga Chans, Giga Abduls out there in the chat. And no shout out to all the victims, the beta cucks, the incels, the excuse makers. No shout out to you guys. Chad from sales, Kevin from sales. Oh, was there a question that I missed? What is true alignment as a man? How can a man find alignment in his life? Well, sir, what I think you should do is I think you should spend some time to yourself. Relax. Sit on the front porch, go out to a lake, sit on a park bench. No electronics, and just think about your life and what you want to achieve. What is ideal for you as a man? And then get to work on what it's going to take for you to get there. Don't listen to what society tells you. See, I have actual good beats. And now, introducing your host, LFA. That one's pretty hard, and the hardest beat that I have. Hold on, we'll get to your question. I can only play it for a second, but this is my hardest beat. I bought it from him. I fucking paid for it, but I still get flagged and striked every time I play it for more than like 5 seconds. But this beat.
That's me. That's me.
That one's hard. So I can make like a 1 minute loop of me. You know, we can make like a 1 minute loop of it, and then I'll just repeat it for 6 hours straight, and nobody will know. They'll think it was just a 6-hour deal. And then I'll premiere it so I can get donations. Best intros. Start with the sound from Kanye West Power, and then the What's Up Brothers, and then that beat. So good. Kanye West Power. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah. Question. My roommate has that we are friends thing with the dude. My roommate has that we are friends thing with the dude she likes. And he told her he would pay for a date anywhere if she wears a helmet the whole time. What does that mean? Like a bike helmet? No, like bike helmet. So here's what I would say. I am going to cold approach a woman as soon as I get off of this live stream. I'm just going to go to the gas station and cold approach any random woman. And I'm going to say, dear, I will make you a deal. I want to take you out on a date. I'll do it the proper way. I'll pick you up. I'll be there on time. I'll hold the door open for you. I'll take you out somewhere that you will absolutely enjoy. I will give you the night of a lifetime, and I will pay for everything. You will never have to reach for your card. But I have one demand, that you put a bag on your head the whole time. Can you do it? I want you to put a bag on your head and meet me in the janitor's closet at 12 p.m. MB Tutorials with the $9.99 super chat says, started NoFap for 2 months and now finally have a girlfriend. I guess it might actually work. Well, sir, just another positive testimonial. And thank you, sir, for that super chat. It was a great surprise. Surprise! I appreciate that. LFA, have you ever hooked up with a chick you met off of YouTube? No, never have. And, you know, when I go on these dating apps, I do let them know ahead of time that I'm LFA on YouTube, and, you know, they can follow me if they would like. And I do it because it's kind of a, I guess you could say, it's almost a red flag for girls when they see a guy as a YouTuber, especially in the manosphere, especially with the type of content that I make. I think they would see it as like a red flag. So for one thing, it might be like pre-selection. It's like, well, this guy, people like to watch him and, you know, whatever. And he's, wow, this guy's out here grinding. Look at all these different ways that he's, you know, potentially making money and stuff. It's like this guy, whatever. But it's still a red flag because it's like, it's almost like a girl on Instagram with 100,000 followers or a girl with the OnlyFans or some shit like that. It's like major red flag to most of them. So I never met a girl off of YouTube. I never hooked up with one off of YouTube, but I do let them know I have YouTube. Do you think I would say yes to that with what we have learned thus far? I don't know what you're talking about. LFA wants to get pussy at the gas station. LFA is too much sometimes. LFA, what do you say to a girl at the pork aisle of a grocery store? I say, maybe we should find an appropriate telly and meet at the salami section of the grocery deli. And don't call me, I'll call you. Oh. No. LOL, Manosphere loss. Yeah. Pussy, LFA, you're drowning in pussy. Guys, let's give this guy once again a round of applause for getting a girlfriend through semen retention. Just another amazing testimonial, isn't it? Q, what's your favorite place you traveled? And what's one place you've really been wanting to travel to? My favorite place that I've traveled is the Virgin Islands, St. Thomas and the Virgin Islands, which is still technically part of the United States. I would like to visit Spain. St. Thomas is a good time. And one thing I will say is the women of St. Thomas are something else. They'll crank your yank until you beg them to stop. Geraldo Jimenez, LFA, should learn comedy. It's the best medicine. Laughter is the best medicine, and it's a good way to get chicks. Look at Pete Davidson. I highly doubt Pete Davidson got his hog cranked by Kim Kardashian. I think that was a publicity stunt. Super Game. What about the Virgin Islands made it desirable? Was it the weather, the people, the food, or the other things? It was the scenery. Beautiful island to visit. And yes, the women will crank your hog. Get you a nice Jamaican girl. She'll crank your hog beyond its breaking point. Touchdown. Touchdown, Manosphere. And I'm the quarterback. No, I'm the receiver. I'm the running back. I'm all of the above. LFA, how do I get cranked? Well, I'll tell you the best and easiest way to get cranked. You approach a woman, you look her dead in the eye, and you say, I want you to put a bag over your head and meet me in the janitor's closet. And if she says no, I'll give you the Patreon only exclusive way to get it done. But I can't do it on this stream or we'll get the channel pulled. Have you ever forced a ratchet to take plan B? No. No. You know, women though, they will try to get smashed out, and they'll say they'll take plan B the next day. You know, I had one chick that I for some reason I called her and I said I wanted to fuck her without a condom and nut in her, and she was like, okay. I think I have some plan B sitting around. And it's like, women are, you know, when they're attracted to you, it's a whole different ball game. I couldn't imagine actively trying to get women to be attracted to me. I think you just work out, you do your thing, you let your nuts hang, and, you know, that's how it goes. You let the chips fall as they may. You've been cutting or bulking? I've been maintaining. Is sway. Pete Davidson's sway is what gets the Latinas. Yeah, but I don't know. I think they like him when he's on TV, but in person, if you're just a regular average Joe, the Pete Davidson game ain't gonna work. All right. No questions and no super chats. We're almost at that 3-hour mark, guys. I want everybody, we're going to have to end this pretty soon, but I want everybody to remember Geraldo Jimenez, the most energetic caller of all time. And I want you to see.
It's my way or the highway?
No, you don't tell her, you show her.
Ooh, dude. Okay, so my question is, how do you show this girl that? How do you show her that, yeah, I am the man in this warehouse? All these guys, they don't got nothing on me. But me, I'm the real deal.
No. Geraldo Jimenez. What do you think, guys? The man of the warehouse t-shirt line? The man of this warehouse. So for everybody that works in a warehouse, you can get t-shirts that say the man of this warehouse. Pretty sick, huh? Q, how do you feel about talking dirty to get sexually compared as how do you feel about talking dirty to get sexual compared to making a physical move? So if you have the swagger to talk dirty, like on the phone or whatever, then it's highly effective. You know, I do that all the time, even through text. You know, I can feel a dirty text and really escalate things pretty quickly. Now, the physical move, it can only be done if she's interested in you. So I think you want to do the talking and the communicating first. Like, you have to the swagger to pull that part off before you make the physical move. Otherwise, you can find yourself in some trouble. Yes, sir. All right, guys, we're over 3 hours in, and I think we've pretty much covered just about everything. Brett Overman says he works in a warehouse and he would buy that shirt. That would be a sick one, wouldn't it? I am just walk in there. I am the man of this warehouse, and play that clip. All right. Well, guys, I think we're going to have to end this one. Guys, we're more than 3 hours in. I hope this video was somewhat informative. Hope you guys enjoyed yourself. And I hate to cut it off because we've had such a good time, but we're going to have to now. It's always nice hanging out with you guys and shooting the shit with you guys. And of course, it's been a fun party. Now, guys, I hope this video was somewhat informative. And that's about it for tonight, guys. Until next time, see ya.